This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Good morning, planet Earth. We're back, Capes and Lunatics. I'm here. Charlie Esser's here. Lilith Hellfire's here. Kind of hungover. Hi, Lilith.
What a jerk.
You see, she's censoring herself, or she would have called me something way worse. All right, let's get started. Episode 96, inching ever closer to 100, starts right now. That's not it.
Who's drunk here? Wait.
I need a bigger screen is what it is. Anyway. You think I was the drunk one. Anyway, welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. As I said, my drunken friend in Florida is...
Hey, y'all. It's Lil Hellfire.
And my big gun coming from live from New Jersey is...
Charlie, the Professor Esser. And I am fully sober. For
I was going to say, you're more unpredictable. You're sober.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll tell you the truth. You know, I gave up alcohol for Lent, because I'm a very bad Catholic, but I still try sometimes. I'm a practicing Catholic because I'm not very good at it, and you know, I gave up alcohol because I was realizing how much of my day was wasted sitting in front of the TV, sipping a beer on the weekends, and not accomplishing anything. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna give up alcohol, see if I can do better. And I found out that I can sit in front of my TV and drink coffee and still accomplish nothing in a weekend. So it wasn't the booze.
Who are you and what have you done with Charlie Esser?
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into some news.
Yeah.
We'll save the analysis of Avengers Endgame trailer and for super connectivity because I know Lilith.
Because Lilith's not going to see that anyway.
No, she said she's going to watch Infinity War the day before and then go see it. So,
okay.
Yeah, she must have. She must have like.
I lied.
She must have 5.5 hours free to watch both of those.
Yeah, I lied. I can't do it.
I'll wait till you're
sober. Oh, you just don't want to admit that Marvel is making better movies than DC. That's
they're more successful. I wouldn't necessarily say they're better, but that's a discussion for another time.
Yes, wow.
I have completely different issues with the MCU than I do the DCU. I hate both of them equally, but for different reasons.
Last I checked last night, Captain Marvel worldwide was at 575 million.
Yeah.
After 1 week.
Yeah, it beat Aquaman.
Okay, that's nice, but Aquaman was a more fun movie to me. But you know,
oh, you're saying first week?
I mean, it's not all. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people think it's all about money, and for the studios it is, but for fans, it's a little bit more than that. So whatever, you know.
Yeah. Well,
for once, we haven't had a controversy for 2 weeks. That's Marvel's thing this week. So you know.
Oh yes, thank you for the segue because they announced it yesterday. James Gunn is coming back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3 after he's done with Suicide Squad 2.
Yep, and now we know what happened to now we know why the crows aren't in Dumbo, because the mouse had to eat them. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just say after the whole big thing, it is a little embarrassing for Disney to say, "Okay, I guess you can come back." I guess what it really comes down to is when they did do the deeper digging, they never found anything that really, because I know that was the worry, that there was something bigger out there that they were afraid of coming out, and because I'm sure they didn't want another Bryan Singer situation.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like, oh, Bryan Singer, he's already associated with.
Well, he's still making movies and getting Oscars. Yeah,
not for
so,
Disney.
Yeah, I was gonna say
not for Disney, but I'm just saying.
Didn't they just take him off something, Bryan Singer?
Yeah, they took him off of.
Is it Red Sonja?
Yeah, Red Sonja. Yes, that's it. Yes, took him off the Red Sonja reboot, and honestly, I do not even know how Red Sonja is a character that Marvel doesn't own, except for the fact that they just didn't care enough to hold on to the rights. But we got Conan back, and we saw Arnold pitching hard to adapt the current Conan the Conqueror into a movie. He's like, yes, I'm already old and muscular. Give me this job.
No job for you, Schwarzenegger. Sorry. Marvel will not be hiring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sorry to break it to you guys.
Yeah, well.
They will not be doing that.
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know if Disney has the movie rights. We just know that the comic books rights are back. Hello, Tristan. We're going to talk Endgame trailer in Super Connectivity if you want to give your 2 cents. Yes, okay. There's my son.
Your girlfriend is not on camera this week. There he is.
Oh, whoa! We got a full table this week.
Good morning.
Yeah. Tyler, good
Hey,
time.
good morning, Jonathan.
Good time.
Tyler. It always says Jonathan when it comes up, so.
Don't screw with secret identity.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tyler.
That would be like calling Lilith her real name.
Lois?
Her name was Lilith.
Susie. But Tyler, we were talking James Gunn's back on Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Okay, so James Gunn. I think he's talented, but I kind of feel like James Gunn in comparison to Tim Burton. In the fact that the first movie, when he has a little bit of restraint, is really good. In the second movie, when it's kind of like, oh, just do your thing, gets either hated, divisive, or not as well received. And I mean like that with what Tim Burton did with Batman. You know, Batman Returns is kind of a divisive film. And I think Guardians 2, there's people who really don't like it. There's people who do like it. Or just say, it's okay.
Do you know what's wrong with Batman Returns as a Tim Burton movie?
What's wrong?
Yeah.
He wasn't married to Helena Bonham Carter and wasn't friends with Johnny Depp yet. That's what was wrong with that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Depp is Batman.
Scarecrow.
Helena Bonham Carter is Catwoman. Oh, God. I can't even put that into the universe. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 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 Apparently Johnny Depp. Apparently they're saying no, he doesn't beat his wife. So
I think they beat each other, and it is what it is.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
But I guess it's okay to not be horrified by Johnny Depp again. So speaking of redemptive arcs.
But yeah, so Gunn's going to be working for both. He's doing Suicide Squad 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Who would ever sign up for Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad 2.
Period.
Yeah.
Who wants to work with Warner Brothers at this point?
Nobody. But is that like a good strategy though? Because the bar is probably set so low that if you do a halfway decent job, they'll probably be like, "Oh, you saved Suicide Squad." Or
yeah. So I mean,
well, we know we can't trust the trailers when they come out, so
you can't trust the trailers for anything.
And it's going to be a completely different thing, too, because...
You can trust Netflix trailers. They ruin the whole movie in 30 seconds. What do you mean?
Well, you're going to watch it in 30 minutes, so why not? If you're just going to binge it anyway.
That's one reason, just throwing this out, that I really like the marketing and stuff with Shazam. Because none of the trailers or marketing has really focused on Savannah, his goal, his plan, really who he is. It's focused a little bit more on just, oh my god, I got these powers.
I'm gonna go buy some beer. I'm like, what is this? A Charlie Esser story?
It is childhood wish fulfillment, and he is a foster kid, and his foster brother is a little more the crippled foster kid's a little bit more worldly than Billy at this point. So
Yeah, but this is my point. Isn't the whole point of Billy Batson supposed to be that he was so pure of a soul that giving him this power would not be corruptive?
Isn't that like literally the whole reason? Beer, it's fine. Everybody experiments. It's 2019. Well, I've seen 9-year-olds do worse. Okay, that you have to remember. It's 2019 right now, so the bar for children's behavior is different. It's very different.
Have we just completely forsaken the entire acronym quality of the name Shazam.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wisdom of Solomon and all that kind of stuff.
When they took his name Captain Marvel away, it did change a lot. So, you know.
Yeah.
I think.
Although I gotta say, if you actually look at Solomon's story in the Bible, he actually does a lot of stupid things too. So
women,
he's a man.
Hey, women is his downfall. I had to write a report on that for school. The man had more wives that he could spend one day, or maybe two women a day for a year, and still wouldn't get through his wives.
Yeah. Those are political marriages. You know, that's the problem.
You know, your testosterone runs out, and you know. It is what it is.
Yeah. What was that old school Viagra having 20 wives?
Horny goat weed. Horny goat weed.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. Google it, kid. 90 kids who spend time in gas stations know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Ty.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. While we got Tyler here, did everyone see the thing last night? I guess Ezra Miller wants this Flash movie done so bad that he's going to write it himself along with Grant Morrison.
Who the frackle does Ezra Miller think he is? Nobody likes him as the Flash. He's a perfectly fine actor in other things, but as the Flash, as it stands from the DCU, nobody wants it, and nobody wants him writing a story with Grant Morrison. Like, give Greg Berlanti the job back. The original Flash script is pretty freaking good. Like, I just don't understand it.
Just out of curiosity,
how many rewrites and changes they done.
We're on the 6th one.
And all
without
I know
any shoots, without anything, just cancel the damn movie. Nobody wants it. Nobody cares.
All I know is that Grant Morrison writes at such a high level that your individual writer coming in or
he's not meant for movies.
Will be like, what? But yeah, it's from the 5th dimension. It's intersecting with this time frame over here.
He's a pretentious jackass. Yes.
Oh, well, you know what they can do? I'll say this much if you want. If nothing else, it gives a way to obviously do a soft reboot so that, that Justice League, it was sort of a thing, but it wasn't as much of a thing as we thought it was because now Flash went back in time in it. Because obviously that's got to be your sense of thing.
Flashpoint, then they changed it, then they did something else, and just cancel the. Don't be afraid to cancel a movie nobody wants to see.
At least for once, they're actually going to an actual comic book writer.
It didn't work. I'm sorry. Like I have a big issue with the things that Jeff Johns was trying to do, and it's kind of why certain things floundered the way that they did. Either you're a comic, like not everybody can do everything. Is my point. You should get somebody who specializes in something. Like get Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd love to see Tarantino do a DC film. Don't want him anywhere near Marvel unless he's writing The Punisher. He could write The Punisher.
Yes, his stylish violence would be excellent for Punisher.
I'm sorry, what?
His excellent stylish violence aesthetic would be good for Punisher.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect for The Punisher. I mean, he'd be great for a Deadpool. It'd be fantastic for a Gwenpool. If he ever wants to do a comedy, Quentin Tarantino's Gwenpool would be...
How can we get Samuel Jackson in a Gwenpool movie?
If it's in the MCU, that's perfect. By the way, I was watching Infinity War last night. Do you think? And I was noticing those scars on Thanos' face. Do you think he ran afoul of a Flurkin at some point?
Is that who's going to say?
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. The Flurkin seems to, they're dangerous. Everyone knows it except for Nick Fury. He's like, oh, what a cutie little Flurkin.
Well, to be fair, orange tabbies are the worst cats ever anyway, so he should have just steered clear of that cat, period. Everybody knows orange tabbies are the worst.
At least on Mondays.
Dang it! That was my line. But they do hate Mondays. We all know that.
And then I guess supposedly if the Disney Fox deal stays on schedule, the deal's supposed to be done March 20th.
And then we're going to learn about our new X-Men Fantastic Four movies on the 21st. That's all I care about.
Well, they said if they get the deal done by then, they could drop some end credit scene at the end of Endgame or something.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Yeah. I was reading over Comic Book Resources about when they folded, I believe it was the Image line into the mainstream Marvel universe. using the Infinity Gauntlet. So you do have this comic book precedence for the idea that, hey, maybe we all come over. So
Infinity Gauntlet, Quantum Realm. It's yeah, you can easily fold them in somehow.
Yes, well, exactly, and you know, it is it's a possibility. I mean, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of of crashing universes together, generally speaking, unless it's like, you know, for simple fan service.
Well, they won't be using any of the old actors though. They're going to completely reboot all those properties. So
I do not want. I'm just saying this. I do not want the X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe unless you somehow completely clean the slate. And I say that because I feel once you introduce those character types where mutants, where anyone can be a mutant, it takes away any of the speciality that you've created with Spider-Man, Captain America, these people who...
Well, Spider-Man is technically a mutant.
How is Spider-Man a mutant?
His blood is mutated?
Yeah, but he wasn't born with the power. He wasn't.
When anybody can be born with powers, it takes away people who are experimented on and decide to like be a hero. It kind of takes away from their story. Because I mean, right now, everyone who's in this is like either had an experiment on them, or have chosen to do something, or has special skills.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a clean rebooted X-Men universe by Marvel, but I just don't want all of a sudden Professor X to show up next to whoever's left after Endgame.
Illuminati
confirmed. Here's what I will say. I'm gonna disagree with you because first off, none of the heroes necessarily asked to be, literally none of them, with the exception of Steve Rogers, none of them asked to be heroes. None of them asked to become superhuman. You know, even Bruce Banner experimenting on himself, the effect was not supposed to be a Hulk.
Right.
It wasn't even supposed to be a Doc Samson. It was supposed to be
himself.
What? Yeah, he was experimenting on himself.
He wasn't born that way.
No, he wasn't. Well, I mean, that he was born a super genius, and that is its own superpower.
But when you have a whole bunch of people who are all born with powers, it just takes away people who, like Steve Rogers, who experiment, who volunteered to be a hero.
Well, I don't think it takes away from it because it's not about the power; it's about what you do with it. And the fact of the matter is, most mutants, just like most Inhumans, who they've already introduced,
miserably.
We don't talk about that, Charlie.
Yeah, I was gonna say
don't.
They gotta
No.
that.
I mean, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Inhumans, not the royal family.
Yeah.
Not the people that will be mercifully recast once they get unsnapped.
That would have been hilarious. Side story: if they just would have had the whole cast of Inhumans just go away with the snap.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, you know, I think we can all hope.
I thought you were going to say they were just going to recast all the Inhuman royal family, and they're going to be like, oh, those other ones were imposters.
Yeah, those are Skrulls.
They're Skrulls, yeah. I'm just waiting on that.
Yeah.
Re-image induces. You know, not for nothing. You know, everyone says, oh, they rewrote the Skrulls in Captain Marvel to make them nice guys. Like, no, they didn't.
Really?
Yeah. You know, what they literally said, look, Talos says, you know, I've got more than my share of blood on my hands, you know. Look, I'm not saying I'm a nice guy, but I'm saying we're not necessarily the bad guys here. You know, and there are thousands of other Kree cells out there, or not Kree, Skrull cells out there, many of whom aren't trying to find their wife and kids. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah. You know, more than a day. You're fine. It's 2019. Spoilers are only 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, in that same thinking, Charlie. I mean, if you remember, we have Ronan in Captain Marvel, but at Ronan's action in Guardians of the Galaxy, he was completely on his own. He even says, "I don't speak for the Empire."
Supposedly.
Yeah. So I mean. All you have to do is have one of those cells of Skrulls that are like, no, we're not going to be peaceful. We want revenge. We want power now.
Plus, it's been over 20 some years since Captain Marvel, so who knows what changed in the Skrull Empire in like 20, 25 years.
Exactly.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Philip, move this conversation along.
Yes, boss.
Anyway.
I want to get the comic books or something else.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because I was going to say there wasn't much, except for the CW shows, there really wasn't much on TV this week. No Gotham, no Orville.
Oh, while we have Ty here. Hey, remember that conversation we were talking about that Superman Year One?
Yeah.
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 Okay, we got freaking Frank Miller who hates Superman. Superman's definitive Year One journey. Like, what?
The new one, yeah.
And okay, so Frank Miller, like, I always, the way he wrote him in The Dark Knight Returns was, you could tell he did not like Superman.
As a lot of people don't, because they don't understand some subtle nuances or they miss the point of what Superman's supposed to represent. And, they try to bring it into a 2019 or 2018 or whatever world. It's just like, sometimes you just bring the trunks back and be cheesy. It's fine. And some people just aren't okay with that.
Well, just looking at all his previous work, I'm like, how many prostitutes are going to be in this?
I think he's under. See, for them to put him on Superman, I think he's under some very strict editorial guidelines because they are trying to make Superman cool, but bring him back to the core again. So that's the whole thing.
Isn't that what Bendis was supposed to do?
But this is the Black Label book, so it's supposed to be edgy. Let's just hope that we don't.
Well, maybe we'll get a penis outline. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was trying to joke to. That's where I was going.
Batman's will be bigger.
No, Kryptonians. I don't know.
Superman 3 shooting peanuts at the bar.
But my other thing, like
I'm the goddamn Superman.
I told Lilith was, I like John Romita Jr.'s art when it's his own stuff. Like, example, Kick-Ass. I do not like John Romita's art when he does other people's properties. Like when he teamed up with Jeff Johns and did that Superman run at the end of the New 52. I didn't like the artwork.
I didn't like his Superman stuff. Yeah, like Romita Jr.'s best on Spider-Man. And like you were saying, Kick-Ass. But yeah,
I like it when it's his own book that nobody else is doing or whatever, where it's like, oh, that's his art, it's his style. Not when it's an established character and it's just so awkward.
Yeah.
So that just made me like even less interested in this. But I'm still going to get at least the first issue.
Of course.
Romita Jr. is one of the few artists I have a very strong opinion on, which is that I like his work when he has a good inker. And I think he is really all about inking. And and one of the things I actually do like about his work is that he draws very static people in flight, which to me is I like that because it suggests that flight is not actually caused by thrust in superheroes, but by some sort of quantum mechanical movement. So that is honestly, he's the guy that
tentacles.
He's the artist that made me go, oh. Maybe that's why he draws them that way, because obviously it's not that Superman flies faster because he just makes more thrust, because it's not thrust that makes Superman fly or Captain Marvel fly or any of these characters. Unless you're Iron Man, you're not flying through thrust. You're flying through some other means other than shooting stuff out your butt,
I guess.
All right.
Yeah, that's my take on it. No, really, do you think Superman is like shooting ray beams out of his feet? No, that doesn't make any sense. Because then, if that was what he was doing, then anything behind him would be being destroyed when he's flying.
I have my own theory, but that's all like scientific stuff that, like, this podcast is definitely not like, geared towards scientific like facts and deep thoughts.
It isn't?
Facts? Who needs facts?
Fake news. That's what we're all about here.
Well, like my part of it is, how fish have a swim bladder. The sack of air it takes in to help them keep down under the water. And in a sense, with Superman's gravity and the lesser gravity in his energy, it's kind of in the same vein of that, where he has this ability to just hold in energy and create himself lighter than air to move quicker in some vein like that. I have more to it, but it's been so long since I've discussed it, I can't remember all my details.
Okay, yeah. Well, like I said, for me, it's always the question of thrust. And,
doesn't it always come down to thrust?
Jerry O'Connell in My Secret Identity had anti-gravity, but what he needed was thrust. Flight
Good
without
old
thrust.
chubby old Jerry O'Connell.
He was not chubby at that point. That was when we first got slick, handsome Jerry O'Connell.
Hey,
That's
Superman right there you're talking about. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That is the voice of Superman.
In those animated movies now, yeah.
Yeah, hey,
and
I
the voice
love
of
Jerry.
He's adorable. Yeah.
I just love that he was the voice of Shazam and then later went to be Superman.
As you do.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, hey, and I hope we get more of him in the Big Bang Theory.
Well,
better be
May's
soon.
done. So.
Better be soon. It's coming to an end in what, May?
Yeah, I'm just,
15th, mark your calendars.
Doing our special.
Yeah. My Big Bang Theory is that we never really got to see more of Leonard's brothers and sisters. Although we did get a bit with his mom in the last episode I saw, where she basically...
You know why, though, right?
Basically, what?
You know why we never did it, right?
Why?
Because he's a needy, greedy baby.
Yeah. Well, no, but in the last episode, they kind of confirmed my long-held fan theory, which is that his siblings are very jealous of him because he was the child that their mother lavished attention on, and to them it was like, oh yeah, because Leonard and mom, they're just always together because she's built her entire career off of Leonard's childhood.
Yeah,
and she's probably like a mid-level academic prior to Leonard's birth, and then her decision to really invest herself in Leonard's life as a case study for parenting and child psychology propelled her to the heights that she's currently at. And meanwhile, all of the things that his brothers and sisters did, all their overachievement was their desperate attempt to get that attention. And it was like, that's fine, but I'm doing my experiments on my little Leonard baby, So I think, hopefully, that's one thing I'm hoping is that they are going to evolve that in these final couple episodes.
That's deep.
Yeah,
that's deeper than the Big Bang Theory ever wanted you to go.
Oh, do not discount. Chuck
Lorre is an idiot in some aspects.
Chuck Lorre often he takes standard tropes and he expands on them in ways that are delightful, absurdist, and surprisingly deep. I mean, his and often looks at things that often aren't obvious. Like, in your in 2.5 Men, your classic one's clean, one's messy. Now, truth be told, Felix always was kind of a jerk in the original Odd Couple, but we never think of him in that way. And what I think with the longer running time and everything else that he had in 2.5 Men, he really got to explore what kind of a jerk Felix's can be in the overall story of an Odd Couple pairing. But that's just
wait. Ty, are you excited for John Cryer to be Lex Luthor?
I'm indifferent.
Oh,
just out of curiosity, did we see John
No,
Cryer
that's this week.
No, yeah, it's Sunday.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, me and Tristan were watching that. It was like, oh, Lex Luthor's supposed to be in this. And he just kept on thinking, wait, is that Lex Luthor? And said, no, that's Jimmy Olsen. And he's like, are you sure? That looks like Lex Luthor.
Oh, he must watch Superman the animated series. Although he was technically not a black man in that show.
Technically.
All I'm saying is the trailer with John Cryer I find interesting, but I just don't know if it's Lex yet. I don't know. Wow. But the biggest thing about this Lex is if you look at the story of Lex Luthor, John Cryer's Lex is the farthest into the story that we've ever gotten.
Mm-hmm.
This is him and Superman have been battling for years. He's already been imprisoned. So this is a point in Lex's life.
Well, Tyler, someone here has already seen the episode.
Oh, well, it wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
It's me. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. I talk about it. But I'm spoiled. I'm from the era of Smallville. Michael Rosenbaum, hands down, is the best live action Lex Luthor we've ever had. So
Yes.
everybody stacks up against that in a certain kind of way. John Shea comes underneath him, and Jesse, whoever the heck, he's way down at the bottom, and John Cryer's underneath that. So, but
See,
no, if you like Kevin Spacey or
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor. You might like this John Cryer.
Well, see, okay.
Charlie will probably like John Cryer.
Yeah, Gene Hackman was a great Lex Luthor.
Well,
so,
Gene Hackman was a great Lex Luthor for the time, because Lex's character was revamped shortly after.
Yes,
so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to look at that because if someone walked in, they'd be like, "Oh, this isn't Lex. Where's LexCorp?"
Well,
because that's not the Lex that existed when that movie
came
out.
They had to do Superman 3 first, and then someone realized that being super wealthy is a great superpower.
And
then who just noticed that? Like, what? It's always been that way.
No, but the reality is that Superman fights corporate villains in Superman 3. Suddenly, someone says, "Hey, maybe Lex should have a big corporation. Maybe Lex should actually use his genius to make money, rather than just trying to take over the world."
But Lilith, is he better than the two Lexes we got in Superboy?
No.
Oh.
I mean, that's my personal opinion. I think that Superboy is underrated, personally.
Yeah.
But man, that first season Superboy Lex Luthor, the bookie, man, that's
okay.
Tough.
Maybe he's 2 steps above the bookie Lex Luthor version. Maybe. John Cryer just, I don't know. It's like his certain acting style that just, it's just something about John Cryer. Like, I love Ducky and I love him in the 13 episodes I've seen of 2.5 Men, but like, I don't know whose ass he powdered and kissed to get this job. Like, I don't know.
They were like, "Hey, we need someone that's a legacy actor. Let's who do we got? Ooh, let's pull something crazy."
I mean, CW has plenty. I mean, well, CBS, because technically this is the CBS production side of the CW, not Warner Brothers. So I mean, honestly, like they had a lot to pull from.
But they wanted someone who connected to the Superman legacy.
I was gonna say it wasn't Superman.
Yeah, or they just wanted to go very much against type, because not for nothing, was it Lenny Luthor?
That's their favorite thing to do.
Hey, but just think about this. Yeah. Just think about this. They tried to go against type before, and we got Jesse Eisenberg. So you think they'd want to play a little bit closer, a little safer.
Everybody knows that's Lex Jr. Everybody knows that's the crazy clone body. Everybody knows that.
It was written.
Oh my goodness! Are you saying Jesse Eisenberg is Connor Kent?
No. In the comics in the 90s, Lex came back as his own son because he came back in a younger clone body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a little crazy.
It's in the movie. Like, it's one of those, like, it's in the movie. That's the way they wanted to go.
Clone degeneration made them nuts.
Tyler has to go to work now because I have to be a responsible adult.
Boo!
Yeah. It sucks.
But you got kids to feed. It's fine.
So,
we miss you. It was great having you.
Miss you guys, too. But I will talk with you guys next week.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
In April.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm pumped. I'm excited. So I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh fuck.
All right. Should we talk some comics?
Yes.
Sure, let's talk comics.
I'm so excited, Philip. Like, I'm so close to being done with DC comic books. Like, I'm so
you're done after one Detective 1000.
I said that way back in World's Finest, I believe, and I'm sticking to it.
March 27th, it comes out.
You know what? I almost picked up the Cheryl Blossom Crazy Cult book of the Cheryl Blossom 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost picked it up this week because it was there, and I was looking at it, I should really pick it up. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with Big Ethel there, and it.
Oh yeah, you have an affinity for Big Ethel, so
I do have an affinity for Big Ethel, man. Don't. It's like I don't like when they take. I don't know. I don't see, and that's my biggest problem. I think with the Archie horrorverse is taking generally benevolent characters and making them dark and twisted. I don't like, I mean, Now, granted, and
well,
here's my
for
thing,
ample Americans in any media, generally speaking, there's only two modes. Either they're super jolly or they're super evil. So, I totally get where they're coming from on that angle, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I get that. I don't know, it just kind of disturbed me a bit. And that, I have to say, had it been Reggie, I certainly might have picked it up. Because Reggie, I can see building some kind of...
I absolutely hate what they've done with Reggie on Riverdale, by the way. I mean, I think he's on his third actor. And like they just can't now he's hooking up with Veronica, and I'm just like, ugh.
Well, I always thought Reggie and Veronica were the ones that should have gotten together anyway.
Not the way that they've written it though. Like Riverdale is a mess, and I'm so bummed out by Riverdale.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on like in Riverdale. Yeah. Watch Sabrina instead, coming out very shortly in April.
Yes, we're getting our return to form with the chilling adventures of Sabrina. Yep. That'll be fun.
So, Philip, where do you want to start on our comic book journey?
I was going to say, Lilith, did you read The Grim Knight?
Yeah, I did.
Charlie, you might have...
Why are we beating this property to death already?
I don't know.
Jeez Louise,
what is The Grim Knight? What is this?
There's another alternate Batman working with the Batman Who Laughs. I mean, this guy could run around with all these guns and stuff. It's basically like Frank Castle in a Batman
I was going to say,
suit.
yeah, it's Punisher Batman, which we've already had an amalgam.
This was his origin. They were showing his origin. You'll appreciate this, Charlie. The night the Waynes die, goes down the same as usual. The pearls hit the street. But in this version,
cheap pearls.
Well, Joe Chill slips on the pearls and drops the gun. Bruce picks it up and blows him away.
Oh, cool.
So then he gets into his head. I was like, oh yeah, I can eliminate crime. So he just like starts basically killing, all these criminals. We never really get a Joker or anything because he kills all those guys before they get too big, and eventually
28 pages for $5. Hard pass. I'm just saying.
Oh wow, yeah, that is very expensive.
That was ridiculous. Although I did love Eduardo Risso's freaking artwork. It was amazing.
Yes.
But the story was kind of lacking for me. Sorry, Snyder. Sorry, Tinian. Just
so
been there, done
that. Why is this guy working with the Batman Who Laughs?
He was hand selected, don't you know?
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, this guy has a grudge against his Gordon, so they kidnap Commissioner, the regular Commissioner Gordon. So he's like, "I'm going to show you my way is right. You got to kill all these criminals." Yeah.
Okay, but why is he teaming with a criminal to do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Vigilantes are criminals, period. So.
Well, yes, but the Batman Who Laughs, as I understand it, he's like a serial killer Batman.
Serial killers use other people for their machinations. I mean, if you watch Criminal Minds, you know that, Charlie.
I've seen a few Criminal Minds.
Plus the Grim Knight kills. I mean, he's basically a criminal too, and they're all versions of Bruce. And they're all versions of Bruce Wayne. So it's like, is he just be like, okay, this is like a weirder version of me, but it's still a version of me.
I don't know. I'm not buying it. It's like it's like this. If you have the Punisher and Kingpin team up, you need a very good reason why. Or if you have the Daredevil and Kingpin team up, you need a good reason why. And we both hate our Gordons, and this is a Gordon. Let's just attack everyone named Gordon.
All these
they're coming for you.
And you can't explain crazy, which is, like I said, the story was very lacking for me, but the artwork was great. So, but like 28 pages for $5, I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's the one time that I did want to return a comic book, but I didn't. I don't do that to my retailers, so unless it's Barnes and they can afford it. Screw them.
Yeah, it's not even extra pages for $5.
Yeah, no, it's
a special one shot. It wasn't even that violent, to be honest, which I was disappointed with. We're gonna do that kind of Batman.
It's not violent at all.
That's nothing.
Lilith wants to trade exploding.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do with violence in comic books,
Get original, do something different. The panel structure threw me off too. I didn't really care for it either. Anyway, moving on.
Had to stretch.
Hey, did any of you guys read Domino and the Hot Shots last week? I guess not. Okay.
What was that about?
Domino. You remember that book we were all reading?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
remember. Just
Yeah, well, they continue the story. It's just now it's a team book called Domino and the Hot Shots.
Right. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Vaguely. Which it was already a team book. They didn't need to add and the Hot Shots.
I guess they felt that Domino as a character wasn't moving it as strongly, and maybe they wanted to emphasize the team aspect.
It's been a whole year. You got to reboot.
Yeah.
So, well, it's just a continuation, but it's a good story. So it is available to those who are interested, and I would recommend reading it if you're a fan of Gail Simone and the Domino story we were reading. It picks up from there and has a very interesting MacGuffin that I'm just going to say it. I think a Celestial sneezed, and this is the result. And it has Deadpool at the very end, and that's what made me go like, "How did you guys not read this book?" So,
well, we've been busy on our other journeys, doing our amalgam special. Scroll down, doing our.
Yes, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. I literally fell. I mean, literally, I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm waiting for 9:15 to come about, and all of a sudden, I didn't even made it choke you. Yeah, I'll be there unless I fall asleep, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, he told me. He warned me.
Yeah.
We're just teasing, but we did miss you. But Philip, I have recommendations for you.
What?
Are you not reading the G.I. Joe and Transformers over at IDW? Oh, you are. That's right, you are. Did you read this week?
No, I didn't.
It's really, oh my God, you should pick it up. Like, I think the IDW versions of it are so good.
Yeah, because they reboot that whole Transformers thing. Yeah. I got to get to the store.
Yeah,
I do that today.
Transformers #1 was super good. I think you're really, really gonna like it.
I was seeing like previews and stuff for it. Isn't it like the history like in this version like Prime and Megatron were like friends back in the day or something?
Of course, because that's the best villain hero origin. So yeah, it's very Xavier and Magneto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to introduce G.I. Joe in the next Transformers movie, since they have done the reboot, and that is, if nothing else, a very popular.
They're in the same multiverse at IDW, so it's very possible.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Well, they're both in the what is that? The Hasbro verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both part of with the My Little Ponies. That's the team up we're all waiting.
I was gonna say Transformers and My Little Ponies. Why has this not happened yet?
Because gender normative rules said that the two aisles couldn't mix, but there's
there's bronies now, so I mean they totally cater to the males that love that show, not the 10-year-old girls that really needed Friendship is Magic.
I'm not as familiar.
I'm not
as familiar with My Little Pony as you two, but I'm like, okay.
I'm not at all. I just know the brony culture.
Well, I'm just saying, G.I. Joe versus Transformers, I can almost get, but what offensive capabilities did My Little Pony have?
Applejack is a little mean-spirited son of a gun sometimes, so you
have obviously never seen the devastation a sonic rain boom can cause. So
he has.
So. It is. Yeah, no, the My Little Ponies have magic. Okay. Their friendship is literal magic, not like, oh, friendship is a magical thing. It's like, no, it's like, oh, we can alter space-time with our magic of friendship because we are the 5 ponies or 6. I forget how many ponies there are, but yeah. Now, granted, this is the reboot. This is the Faust reboot of the My Little Pony franchise, which is, I think, the dominant narrative of the franchise now, and well deserved. I think well deserved. It's a well written show.
Oh, and there's also IDW also does a Star Trek Discovery comic book. I think that is actually canon to the show. So if anybody that's watching Star Trek Discovery still, I think that's the artwork was great that I saw when I was thumbing through. So.
Damn it! Now we're gonna have to go to the store and spend a ton more money.
You should definitely, if you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, definitely. Hopefully, you guys, you're gonna buy the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie. But also, you should be reading Shredder in Hell. And #2 came out this week, and it was freaking amazing.
Nice.
Shredder in Hell?
Yes, Shredder in Hell.
Is it
Where
like
he
literal hell?
belongs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he
It's
has
a
gone
hellish
to-
journey.
Sounds like an awesome heavy metal song.
And Mateus is back on doing the artwork. So if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, you know like what a big deal it is. He also wrote it, so it's pretty cool. IDW had a really super strong week this week. So yeah, just want to throw that out there before we talk the big unnecessary too.
Lilith, did you read Red Hood Outlaw 32?
I did. It's better now, but I'm still confused about where they're going with this story.
Jason Todd's back in Gotham, and he's taken over the Iceberg Lounge. He's now like a casino owner.
Yeah.
And he's like just carrying around the crowbar now, right? That's like his weapon of choice now.
Yeah. And like I said, paging Dr. Freud.
I think he needs the tattoo damaged across his forehead. Just gonna throw that out there.
Give it time, Lilith. You know, there was that theory that Jason Todd was the Joker in this universe.
Yeah, I know.
So you know what? Some writer might decide, you know what? I like that theory better.
Jason Todd is a businessman, though. Like, I just can't.
Well, yeah, he basically came back, and he came for the penguin hid in his panic room, and Jason's like, okay, I'll just lock you in there, and I guess he can see through the one-way aquarium. So Jason's like, yeah, you can watch me take all your stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
But
Batman has a very, I don't know, he's very twisted sometimes. But I'm willing to give him the chance to see where this goes.
Yeah, but because even Batman shows up, and you see, like, I told you to stay out of town, and Jason Todd's like,
who the hell are you? Yeah.
Well, no, Jason Todd's like, okay, take me in. He's like, people, but it was the Red Hood who tried to kill the Penguin, so he's like, you're gonna have to explain why Batman's bringing in one of Bruce Wayne's kids. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll call your bluff,
Jason. Well played.
Like, I will call your bluff. Go ahead. I've been waiting for that for years. For him to say that, be like, okay, good, take me in. Not like I know anything, not like I know everything.
Poor Jason. Like, I just feel like I like I said, I've loved this Red Hood and the Outlaws reboot, but I like the Outlaws more than I like Red Hood. So I'm kind of missing the other portion of the book is all.
Okay, well, he's on the phone because I know he doesn't read the mutant books. Have you been reading X-Force?
Yeah, of course. It's kind of a weird, strange trip right now.
Yeah.
Is it just me? With
Kid Cable? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay, I'm willing to give it a go because it's Cable and not the other one, but
okay, X-Men.
Scroll way down. But yeah, I don't. I'm just curious, like, why this is a thing.
It's so weird because it's like classic like X-Force vibes, but it's like it is like Kid Cable.
Yeah. Are you reading X-23 by chance? I thought that was actually secretly the best Marvel book this week.
No, why? Yeah, why?
It's super interesting what they're doing right now. X Assassin, they revealed that whole mystery, and then I really love Laura and Gabby together. Mm-hmm. Like, wow. And like the artwork has just been super good, and the story's just super interesting. Like, I was really surprised because I was like, X-23, like, do we really need this? But apparently we do.
Yeah, I read her when she was like, when she had her Wolverine title. And yeah, I did. That was one of the things I did like, the Laura and Gabby relationship.
Yeah, I'm really digging, who is it? Mariku Tamaki. Like that is like, I'm really impressed. Like, I picked up 3 issues, like 7 through 10, and I'm just like, I enjoyed it. And I thought 10 was absolutely great from start to finish. So, I mean, if you're kind of on the fence about X-23, take it from somebody who's like, why do we need another X-23 book? It's good.
All right, Charlie Esser, he's back. Throw out a book.
Yes, I'm back.
Throw out a book.
We're talking Marvel.
I've read many books. And like I said, I've read books from last week. I've read books from this week. I read I read the new Ms. Marvel reboot. It's a decent book. Gives you a nice little backstory on Ms. Marvel to get you caught up, and then we find out that there's, it's got good teen angst, which is something you read Ms. Marvel for. Bruno is back from Wakanda.
Is that number 1?
That's the Magnificent Ms. Marvel.
Yes,
number 1, and it's got an interesting method of telling the story where apparently there's some alien world where Ms. Marvel is like hailed as the destined one, and it's the father telling the daughter about the destined one's legend, and you sort of see how the legend does not match up with her actual life, but we get her basic origin story, establish all of our main characters, including Nakia and Zoe, though Zoe's not actually in this, she's just mentioned. And then we get her parents, who we can see from the start there's something up with them, Abu and Imani, I think. And of course, then we start getting attacked by crazed alien monsters, including a wolf, who, when Ms. Marvel throws him against the wall, he turns to mush. And then a big falcon guy. And then it says the other alien invasion is at your home. And that's when we realize Ms. Marvel's parents were actually alien goo the whole time. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so very, it is a light book. I mean, it's not new material. This is definitely for the fans. So if you're a new fan, it's like, oh, I've heard so much about Ms. Marvel. It's a good book to pick up if you want to learn more about Ms. Marvel and sort of set up this sort of a new adventure. So I would recommend that. That was a fun book.
And did you guys see in April, since you were talking about Miss Marvel, I guess they're coming out with a new Marvel team-up book, and it's Spider-Man and Miss Marvel for
Ms. Marvel, Phil.
Oh, did I say Captain or? No,
you said Miss.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Don't be diminutive. It's pronounced Ms. Marvel with a Z.
Oh God, I feel like I'm stuck in the 70s. Anyway, Philip, of course you read Amazing Spider-Man number 17. Craven's back, baby. After all of this, we finally get Craven.
I believe Charlie Esser read that too, didn't you?
Yeah. Was that out this week?
Yeah,
last week?
Yeah, the next. Well, there was one. There was that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I actually haven't read this one yet.
Okay.
I don't get advanced copies of Marvel books, so I hope nobody made a mistake.
Yes. No. Yeah. So no, I haven't read that one yet, but I did like where it was going. I gave a fan theory last week on it, which was that the villains that the people are hunting aren't actually the villains, but sort of life model decoys hooked up through a brain scan. Did that pan out, or was I mistaken?
No, I mean, it looks like most of the villains Craven was capturing her. They were about to kill Spider-Man. It's like we got some shout outs. Is that like Lady Octopus back here?
I'm pretty sure. Which will pay off.
I guess we need a Doc Ock because somebody's running around being all superior.
Well, yeah, and not for nothing, we do. Female Doc Ock has been established in the Spider-Verse, so the fans are ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Clone Saga.
Ooh.
How dare you?
Yes.
But no, Craven has like his own robotic soldiers. Of course, he had to give him the mustache.
Oh, okay. So those are Craven robot soldiers.
Like if Charlie Esser made his own Doombots, they would have the mustache.
Yes, well, of course, Gotta have a look, man. You gotta have a look.
It's all about aesthetics when you're a villain. You gotta have a theme and a color scheme.
Oh, yes. Villainy, people think it's easy to be a villain, but
You went to evil doctor school, you shall be referred to as such.
Yes. If you earn your evil doctorate, do not call yourself a doctor if you have not earned your evil doctorate. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that reminds me, Austin Powers thing. I learned something this week. I found out about something. Last couple of weeks we've been every Tuesday night. I've been taking Luca back up to his school. They have like a reading club for the younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the online stuff this week. Do you know there's this? I think the website is Storyline Online. Was it .net? But it must be through like the Screen Actors Guild, because if you click on like any of the children's books, it brings up a video of like different celebrities reading the books.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw a book. Kristen Bell was reading a book, and then what's her face from Austin Powers? Mindy Sterling was reading one. Yeah, and I don't know how many different actors are on there, but yeah, we did see those two on there.
Well,
And I mean, it's a good thing for your kids, because I mean they of course they're actors. They get into it. They do the voices, and
I thought this was leading to the fact that there was going to be there was some Austin Powers children's book that
No.
After Evelyn Scott petting the shark with the laser on his head.
And then they brought in a freaking shark. No. I just wanted to mention that this week, and I almost forgot. Yeah, I think it's storylineonline.net. Yeah, so if your kids are glued to the screen, yeah, they can watch videos of celebrities reading them children's books.
It was a big X-Men and Spider-Man week, though, in Marvel, though, like this week.
Oh, lots of weeks. It's a big Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a big Spider-Man week because this was also the week that we came back to our roots with love, romances.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly,
about Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 42, but yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like a good romance comic. Although you can kind of tell that these are writers who are looking for a genre to put their romances into, because yeah. Well, there are two stories about love among robots, so that should tell you something in that. Love with Ghosts, which is always popular, and of course, Love with Aliens. So, and really, this which is a good one about the overprotective father. That's just a straight up House of Mystery tale. So yeah, I mean, it's a fun book if you like genre fiction. The last one very much about actually kind of very cynical about love. But still well worth the read. I enjoyed it. I love I love a good romance comic. That was actually one of the reasons I really liked World of Wakanda by Gay, was because she did really tap into the old romance comic vibe with that. With her love story between Okoye and the other one. Hey, only one of them made it to the Avengers. That's the one whose name we remember.
Oh yeah, did you see that big controversy? I guess because Denai Guerrero is like the only one who's on the poster whose name isn't at the top of the poster.
Okoye is not really even an Avenger yet, so
yeah,
let's not.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. All those actors, I think, are. I mean,
you can only put so many names at the top of a poster.
Well, she is on Walking Dead, but I think all those other actors probably are bigger names.
Yeah. And you can only fit so many names.
You got to pay your dues. This is what people don't understand about the acting world. You got to pay your dues. And if your agent isn't specific about certain things, then you get screwed.
And it's not even like it's like I said, for Okoye, not for nothing, just between you and me, I actually could have swore she got snapped. I thought Black Panther got snapped and then she got snapped. Like that like right after Panther disappears, she disappears too. And then I was rewatching it last night. Oh no, actually she does survive. Okay, so actually it surprises me much more that Shuri's not on the poster.
Well, she is missing technically, right?
No. They said she survived.
Oh, did they?
Right after.
I know she was on the missing boards. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see that. I didn't look that closely. So
yeah,
Shuri
she's like right behind whoever. I forget who it is.
Yeah. Okay, well, so maybe that's why Shuri's not through then. Wow, man, that means that M'Baku's definitely running Wakanda now.
Yeah.
Oh, M'Baku's Wakanda. Oh, I can't wait for that. Yeah, man. That is gonna that deserves its own movie. I'm sorry.
Black Panther 3.
Oh yeah, Black Panther has to come back and say, "Well, I'm back." And
so that means Black Panther 4 is going to be him married to Storm. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well,
I can wait. I'm patient.
You can do both, can't you? In 3?
Oh,
the wedding needs its own movie. Okay.
No. Black Panther 3. Him and Storm get married and move. And they're not living in Wakanda, but he has to come back and fix the kingdom.
Anyway, no. So here's your post-credit scene for Avengers. Then is you have Chadwick Boseman, after he's back, he's returned, and all of a sudden the sky gets dark and you see this lightning bolt behind him, and that's your crowd screams.
All 10 people that still stay for their end credit scene and don't just watch it on YouTube. Yes.
Yeah, well, some people like to watch it in the theater. Some
yeah,
are
I mean, I always stay,
but
it literally like the last one that I went to, it was Into the Spider-Verse, and like literally it was me, my boyfriend at the time, and like 2 other people. Like everybody else just left. They were like, "Oh, this is the best end credit scene. You missed it, you jackasses." Hee-haw, whatever. Jesus. I don't care anymore. Oh, for those of you that don't like the way that Green Arrow is going, there is a alternative book. It's issue number 2. It's called Robin Hood. The twist is that it's a lady. Her name is Robin with a Y.
Oh yes, I saw ads for that.
Yeah, and it's by Zenescope Entertainment. I thought that it was pretty good. It's on issue number 2. I'm only on I only got through issue number 1 because I had stuff to do last night. But no, I like it so far. She's got like almost like a very super feminized version of Arrow's costume. Like she has like this like little hoodie thing that you know what I'm talking about, Philip, from season 1 of Arrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a modern day set book?
Yeah. She's been framed for murder and she's on the run and she's an archer, and I liked it for pretty much. It's kind of like if Black Canary was Green Arrow, basically, is why I like it.
Okay.
So yeah.
It basically could be the Lilith Hellfire story, except she wasn't framed. She actually did kill somebody.
Well,
in self-defense. It's always self-defense. I live in Florida. I have a castle.
Oh, stand and
do not rob me. You will regret it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's just my recommendation. I forgot because I wasn't here.
And you know what I'm looking for that's coming up this week? Spider-Man Life Story.
Yes, that looks super interesting. I'm happy for it.
Oh, what is that?
It's a mini series. It's set in every decade. It starts in the 60s because that's when Spider-Man was invented, and it's kind of each issue is going to be each decade. From the 60s to the present, but it's going to be like, what if Spider-Man aged in real time?
Oh, it's the Spider-Man aged in real time story. Oh, great! So we actually get like Mayday Parker and all that, or Annie Parker.
But
maybe he actually sticks with the MJ.
Because issue 1 is him in the 60s, probably when he gets his powers, and I think it said it's going to deal with like Flash going to Vietnam, and then issue 2 is the 70s, and so
we'll realize why our comic book heroes don't age in real time.
Yes. Although I always like it when they do that with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Old Man Reed Richards and Old Lady Sue is always fun.
Let's just be real. Richards was born an old man, a cranky, grumpy old man.
Yes, well, have you met his father? So
exactly,
it makes sense.
It's genetic.
Yeah.
Time traveling ne'er-do-well, spreading his seed all over the time stream.
You watch, man. He is Dr. Doom's grandfather.
Reed Richards.
It would all make sense, honestly.
Have we said this before? Reed Richards is like the Sheldon of the Marvel universe.
I wouldn't go that far. Sheldon's not as nearly as brilliant as he thinks he is.
I think Charlie called Tony Stark the Sheldon, but I think
it's
Richards.
I think it's Tony.
Yeah, I think Tony has a much harder time forming positive relationships than Reed does. Reed, I think,
Leonard.
Yeah, really. I think Reed does.
Leonard, he's married to Penny. Come on, be serious.
Exactly. He's got. Honestly, yeah,
he's married to the blonde.
He's got great friends. He's got a beautiful hot wife, who tolerates his nerdery. Everything. Yeah, Reed Richards is very much the Leonard of the Marvel universe.
Who's Raj?
Raj.
Raj is Spider-Man from early in his career. He's like, "Can I borrow this?" He comes up to the tower. "Can I borrow this? Can I have dinner with you guys? I'm lonely."
Dude, Namor sucks.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Namor. Oh, dang, that was the book. That was another book I read last week. Was Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. I didn't get a chance to read it. You said it was good?
Yeah, that is really good. And of course, I don't have any of my last week's books next to me. I have only have this week's books next to me. That's a really good book. And basically, the plot line is that Cosmic Ghost Rider goes back in time and like meets his son the day before his son gets killed in the mob hit. And they're talking about, and he's passing himself off as Frank's Uncle Fredo, because of course he knocks on the door and his wife looks at him and is like, Frank, because it's like, I married you, I know what you look like. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right, she knows what I look like. And then she buys the Uncle Fredo story and lets him watch Frank Jr., who's running around in his underwear with a little Spider-Man cape on. It's so adorable. It was saying about how his favorite superhero is Ben Grimm, because like Frank Jr., he doesn't like to wear pants. And
right to Charlie
that's why Charlie Uster likes Ben Grimm. Okay.
Among 1,000 other reasons, yes. I'm wearing my shorts today, man. It is 49 degrees out.
Don't flash us.
It is 49 degrees out, and I'm not in my underwear. I'm wearing shorts. It's decent, but it's 49 degrees out. I am dressed for it. No, but it's just
damn Northerners.
Yes, and he yes, the North Country, just like our favorite Sumerian. But he's like telling these stories, and I don't know if these are supposed to be apocryphal stories or if this is actually what he's been doing, messing with Marvel history, where he like joins the Fantastic Four. He actually like almost destroys the Fantastic Four, then saves them. Everybody's telling his son that telling his son that that the Four got their powers because of his cosmic powers, and so he's basically it's a very funny story. It's an old guy telling these grand stories to a little kid. And it's really great, set in the Marvel Universe. Though I do think there's going to be a push when we get to the second one, because it comes back with Uatu showing up in his bathroom, basically. Because he's like, what am I doing? Am I going to tell him not to go to the park today? Is that like my whole plan? And Uatu basically says, you want my opinion on that? So it's really a lot of fun. It has that real Deadpool-y vibe. If you like Deadpool, I think you'll love the first issue of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Destroys the Marvel Universe or the Marvel history, and so that's a big plus for me there.
Phil, I know you're a Spawn fan too, but like I recently somebody I think it was like Tuesday gave me this mini series is Spawn Kills Everyone 2, and it is god awful.
I haven't been reading it.
God awful.
I'm reading the main book, but yeah, I didn't read that.
Like this is worse than the worst Deadpool parody I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, wow. I made a good choice. Okay.
Yes, you did.
I did not even know they were still making Spawn books.
Yes, they're coming up on. They're about to hit issue 300.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
A few issues here. Yeah.
Has Spawn just been continually published the entire time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's even like little spinoffs and stuff. Yeah.
I honestly thought that Spawn was just like a 90s thing. I don't know.
it still thinks it's a 90s thing. So that's
I guess Todd McFarlane's gonna if he goes over 300, what is it? He's gonna break the record for like the consecutive number of issues of a creator-owned book or something.
Yeah.
So it's been Todd McFarlane writing this.
Of course, yeah. Nobody else can write Spawn.
I don't know that. As far as I know, literally. Todd McFarlane's out making toys. He's like evil Santa.
I think.
Yes, he is evil Santa.
I think he's too much of a control freak. I don't think he's letting anybody get a hold of that. At least until he breaks the record.
Yeah, he's like, finally, I'm free.
That was the deal, Satan. That was the deal.
Honestly, there were some years where there was no good Spawn book, and I started to think maybe he did make a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting another Spawn movie. I'm thinking, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe the next one will be good. Although I did like John Leguizamo's clown, so
everybody loves John. That's the best part about the movie. Even though it's not. Yeah.
But we're getting Jamie Foxx this time.
Oh, Jamie Foxx is the clown?
No,
or Jamie Foxx is Spawn?
Is he Spawn? Yeah.
He's Spawn.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Honestly, you could do the comedy. Jamie Foxx is a great comic actor.
I'm just saying.
What, Jamie Foxx is in good shape?
No. John Michael White. He's still in good shape, as seen as Bronze Tiger on Arrow season 7.
Oh, yeah.
He can still technically do the role. I'm just saying, not for nothing.
Well, yeah. And it's a heavy makeup role, so why not? But then if you if nothing else, I guess Jamie Foxx is definitely a bigger name.
Yeah, the Oscar or Oscar nominated. I forget how that works.
Does he have better bone structure?
Honestly,
no.
Because like with Deadpool, he's got the makeup, but does he have good bone structure?
What? But okay, yeah, you can't make the most beautiful man in the world ugly. I'm sorry. Trust me, I've tried.
About Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
This isn't the Wayne's World podcast. What the hell?
I know. Are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm getting beauty tips from Charlie Esser.
Yeah, I got another one of these to do. So
yeah, one.
Wait, did you read Wonder Twins?
No, I didn't even know that came out this week.
Yeah, it did. I thought you might want to know that.
Yeah, I didn't see it when I was wandering through the comic book aisle either. So it must have been sold out.
Yeah, I missed that too. I didn't even know that was coming out.
Just to let you guys know, Druncula in the League of Annoyance. Just gonna
Druncula.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. We'll see if they got any extras in because I did enjoy the first Wonder Twins. So
this one is a lot. It's like a horror, like a B comedy horror kind of like vibe. It was cute.
Yeah, see, I actually thought the Wonder Twins were actually just going to be a one shot. So that's Although now I gotta say, and then why do we still not have a Wendy and Marvin book?
Oh, it'll come probably. It'll probably be like one of those weird team up books, and if it does good, they'll spin it off because
Yeah, I just gotta say, unfortunately, I know that Wendy and Marvin are the first.
They had their book though. They had the Super Friends book like about 4 or 5 years back. They did have a Super Friends with Wendy and Marvin in there and the dog.
Oh, okay, well that's good. Yeah, no, and then they also brought Wendy and Marvin back in Teen Titans to kill them.
Yeah.
Which I don't like when they do that. It's like don't just step on their legacy like that, man. That's not nice. That's just my opinion.
All right, Gelman, do your spiel.
All right, everyone. Send us your thoughts on comics, TV, movies. Episode 100 is coming. Don't you want to be immortalized on episode 100? Send your thoughts. capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Facebook.com/capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter, Capes and Lunatics on Instagram, and the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES and Lilith Hellfire.
You nerds want to fight me on the interwebs? You can find me on Twitter @Lilith Hellfire, on the gram @Lilith Hellfire 88. Oh wait, 86. Yeah, I think so. I'm still hungover, sorry.
I'm too drunk for this.
Exactly. So yeah, you guys go back and listen to another one just to double check my info. Next. Fight me.
All right. Most beautiful man in the world, Charlie Esser.
Oh, well, I may be beautiful, I am old. And if you're old like me, you might want to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our Moz and Paz once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is coming back, which I might not be able to, but I'm going to try to. But me and Moz are going to do a podcast about it. And anything else I feel like, @Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
Yes, keep your eye out for Charlie Esser. Big things coming from him.
God bless this mess in a comedy podcast.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
I might even hook them up with Matt Kona, so the insanity may blossom and grow.
Be the Tri-State Area Podcast.
Anyway, for another week, we have been the Capes.
Ampersand.
The Lunatics. Yay!
She's back. Yeah, did you listen to our Captain Marvel review last week, Lilith? I had Marnell fill in for you.
Perfect replacement.
I know. I didn't even know drunk to say Lunatics, and there she was. Little girl, big drunk. I was like, hey, got another one.
We're a dime a dozen.
Oh, no. You're one of a kind, Lil Hellfire.
You're a number one dime.
Better to be number one than a number two.